All right, we are reviewing a live credit report. We are reviewing a live credit report here. Let me Alrighty. So let's look at this here. So we got it here. All right. I am reviewing a live report here. So this is how a credit report will look. This is a sample credit report that I'm using here. I do have permission to use this report. All right. Every report is unique to your name. Every report is unique even to your story. Every report is unique to the things that you've applied for. They are unique to the things that you've paid, and they're even unique to the things that you did not pay. Okay. As we all know, every time we go out, every time we try to go and amass any type of credit, this is what each creditor is going to pull. They're going to pull a history of what you've paid, how well you've paid it, if you were on time when you paid it, if you were not on time when you paid it. So every creditor is going to review this report. And so it's important, number one, that you know what's on your report. And it's also important to know those things that are incorrect on your report, how you can go about removing it. But I wanted to go over what is on your report, what does it look like when a creditor pulls it to review it to determine if they want to give you credit or not. We need credit for homes. We need credit for vehicles. We need credit for credit cards. We need credit for furniture. We need credit for a lot of things in life. And so it's important to make sure that what's on your report is accurate, but you must know what is on your report before you even determine what's accurate. You must know how to read your report before you determine if everything is correct or not. So let's look at this. So at the very top of your report, you are going to see three numbers. You're going to see three numbers, which are here. You're going to see also three credit bureaus. Now we do have more than three credit bureaus, okay? But these are the three main credit bureaus. There are over 100 credit bureaus, but these are the three main credit bureaus that creditors will pull. You'll see your TransUnion, you will see your Experian, and you will see your Equifax. Okay. Now, each of those credit bureaus spits out a number. So this number is a determining factor of many things, right? This number is a determining factor of your payment history. This number is a determining factor of your credit limit. This number is a determining factor of the type of account that you have in your credit. So all of these different parts create a equation, so to speak, and it spits you out a number. And this is the number that you see here. So on this report, this TransUnion score is 620. This Experian report is 580, score is 586. And this Equifax score is 621. And I want to make sure that you can see it. Hold on. Let me zoom in a little better. All right. So there we go. All righty. So next, what you're going to see after you review your scores. Now, these scores here, I'll just go ahead and let you know that this report does need work just based on the scores here. This one is okay. But again, this is also a Vantage score. So when the actual FICO score is pulled, which is what creditors see, it's going to be a little bit less than this. But here are the scores here. Okay. The first thing that you are going to see is the personal history section, personal information, section. That is the first section that you are going to see on every report. It is your personal information. Okay. It's going to include your name. It's going to include what you are also known as. Okay. It's going to include your date of birth or your year of birth. It's going to include all of your current addresses. It's going to include your previous addresses. Okay. Every report is going to include that. And then every personal information section is also going to include your employer. Yes, they put your employer's information on your credit report. So this is the personal information section that every creditor is going to see. Okay. Now let's talk about, for instance, for myself, a few years ago, and this also known as, for some strange and odd reason, my mother's name was included on here. Crazy. So I had to go and write a letter to the credit bureaus, and I had to ask them to remove that. We'll kind of go over that afterwards, but this is all of the information. Now, it's important that you review this to make sure that all of the information listed is correct. Okay. Now, I do have this blacked out because I don't want personal information on here, but these are the sections that's included. Another important section that's listed on here is your previous address section and your current address section. You want to make sure that this address is up to date, is correct. And then also there's really no reason to have your previous addresses listed. So even if you do have previous addresses listed, you can get these removed. These can be removed. Okay. If you so want it to be, it can be removed. All right. But these are the sections that's listed. These also, if these are old jobs, these can be removed. Okay. Employers, there's no need for previous employers to be there. There's no need for previous addresses to be on your report. But this is the personal information section of the report. This is what every creditor will see. They will see your history. So if you have previous addresses, previous employers on here, these items can be removed from your report. Okay. Let's go to the next section of the credit report. We are reviewing a live credit report here. Please, if you are on, like the video, send me also, follow me also if you find value in the items discussed. So the next section of your credit report is going to be your summary. It's going to give you a totality of everything that's listed on your report. Okay? It's going to give you a totality of everything listed on your report. Okay. Let me see here. All righty. So this section here is the summary. What is included in the summary? It's going to give us a total of every item that is on your report per the section that it is listed. So let's look at the first one. The first one is total accounts. How many total accounts is on this report? And then it's also going to break it down per bureau. So it's going to list it, break it down for the TransUnion. It's going to break it down for the Experian, and it's going to break it down for the Equifax. Okay. So the total accounts listed on TransUnion is 3. The total accounts listed on Experian is 4. Equifax is 7. Why? You may ask, well, why does, if I have the same accounts across all of the credit bureaus, why are they different? Why is some accounts reporting, let me do this here. Why are some accounts reporting, at TransUnion and they're not reporting at Equifax? Or why are, looks like a bunch of accounts are reporting at Equifax? Well, it's because that some bureaus, some accounts only post or only report rather to certain bureaus. So let's say you have a Capital One. Capital One may only submit the information to TransUnion and Equifax. And then you may have, TransUnion and Experian. And then you may have another account that only submit to Equifax. So this is why each of these accounts, although this person only has a set amount of accounts, that is why only certain ones are listed at each bureau, because not every creditor reports to every bureau. Okay. Not every creditor reports to every bureau. All right. Let's look at the next one. The next one is open accounts. This gives us a look at how many open accounts are on each bureau. So for TransUnion, there are 2, and we're going to identify them on the report. For Experian, there's 2. For Equifax, there are 3. Okay. So each bureau have this amount of open accounts. It will list it. It will tell you. Okay. Let's look at closed accounts. Now, closed accounts here, closed accounts, they tell you the summary. Now, this is a view of every, we are reviewing a live credit report, here printed out. This is what every creditor see, for everything that you've ever put in your name. Okay. So for the closed accounts, we have 1 listed on TransUnion. Experian, we have 2 listed, and then Equifax, we have 4 listed on Equifax for the closed accounts. Okay. This is a summary of what is on the report. Oh, hey, Alexia. This is the summary for what is on the report. And then also when we look at, let's look at the delinquent accounts. Now, this person here did pretty, they're doing pretty good. For the delinquent accounts, they have 0 listed at each credit bureau. All right. But let's look at the derogatory accounts. The derogatory accounts, they have 1 here listed on TransUnion, and then they have 1 here listed on Experian, and then there's nothing reported listed on the Equifax account. All right. So this is what's derogatory. So this could mean, what is derogatory? Derogatory could mean a late payment. Derogatory could mean it's in collections. Derogatory could mean that there is something negative on that account. So what this is saying in the summary part is, for TransUnion, there is 1 account that has some derogatory information listed on it. And then we can identify once we go through the report. This is saying that for Experian, there is 1 account that has some type of derogatory information listed. Equifax, they're saying that there's been nothing reported that has derogatory information listed. Okay. Or there's no data. So here's the difference between it having a 0 rather than having something that means that there's no data that's been reported. That doesn't mean that there's nothing, but there's no data that Equifax has reported, for it to list a number or for it to list 0. All right. So let's move on to the next part of the summary, which is the balances. This is a big part of your credit report. The balances for TransUnion, it shows $20,907. For Equifax, it shows $21,255. For Experian, I keep getting them mixed up. And then for Equifax, it shows $22,026. So in this summary, you may ask, okay, well, why are these 3 numbers different? Why are these 3 numbers different, right? This pulls the amount from each of these, right? So if each of these numbers up here are different, then this number is going to be different because it's pulling the total balance from the total accounts that are reported to the report. And remember, every account does not report to every bureau. Every account does not report to every bureau. So if TransUnion has 3 accounts, the total of those 3 accounts are $20,907. For Experian, 4 accounts, $21,000. For Equifax, 7 accounts, $22,026. Okay. And then let's look at this next section, which is also a very important section. Okay. This is also a very important section. It is the payments, the payment section. So this is based on the items that are on your report. Okay, based on the items that are listed on your report, this is saying how many are reporting that you have payments, how much are those payments calculated to be. Okay, so for this person, TransUnion is listing $614 in payments. More than likely, this is a card payment and credit card payment. But whatever you have listed as a payment, it totals it up in the summary section. We are in the summary section of the report. It totals it up in the summary section and give you how much your monthly payments are. Okay. So for this report, Experian, the monthly payments are reported to be $529. Okay. And then also for Equifax, the total payments are listed to be $529. This is for this sample report. Okay, so here are the items, here are the total amounts that are listed for each of these accounts on this report. Now, the next section, which most people do not have, but some people do. This is the public records. Okay, these are all records. This is your bankruptcies that you have filed. Okay, your bankruptcy for this person, they don't have any. Okay. They do not have any bankruptcies. That's neither a good or bad thing, but they do not have any bankruptcies listed. Okay. And then here's also another important section, not as important, but important. And this is the inquiries. The inquiries. Now, one thing I do want to tell you about the inquiries are the inquiries stay on your report for 2 years. Inquiries stay on your report for 2 years. Now, there are some instances where you will see a inquiry that is older than 2 years. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has right to be there. That just means that the creditor has not removed it. And in most cases, you can just send a letter to the credit bureau, not even the creditor. You can send a letter to the credit bureau and they will remove the inquiries that are over 2 years. So for this sample report that I'm using, the number of inquiries listed on this report for TransUnion is 13. For Experian, it's 12. For Equifax, it's 14. Okay, let me say that again. For this sample report, for TransUnion, there's 13 inquiries. For Experian, there's 12. And for Equifax, there is 14. So the question is, or the question that someone may have is, why do each bureau have a different number of inquiries? It's the same answer to why they have different balances and why they have a different amount of total accounts listed for each bureau. It is because not every creditor pulls every report. Not every creditor reports to every credit bureau. So you have some that only pull when you apply for credit. You have some that only pull from TransUnion, and then you have some that only pull from Experian, and you're going to have some that only pull from Equifax. That is why the numbers are different. Numbers are listed differently here. Okay, this is the summary section. This is the second section, okay, to the credit report. We reviewed and looked at the first section. We talked about how you can remove incorrect items from the first section of your report. The items that you really want to focus on removing from here is your previous addresses and your employer. And you want to make sure that your current address is up to date. Okay, this is the first section, and this is the second section of a credit report. All right. If you are on, please like the video. Please also share it if you can. And also drop a comment here and let me know that you are here. All righty. So we're going to move on to the third section of the report, which is the biggest section of the report. Okay. This is the biggest section of the report. And that is the account history. The account history. The account history tells a creditor how well you pay your bills. Okay. So when you go and apply for a home, when you go and apply for a credit card, when you go and apply for a vehicle, they're going to look at how well you pay your bills from the last 7 years. Okay. We are now in 2026. So we should not be viewing anything about. We should not be viewing anything that was reported from the date reported 2018. Okay, so January 2018, we should not be looking at anything that if this date here is 2018, we should not be, it should not be on your report rather. And you can remove it, and we will go over how you can remove that that account from your report. But we're looking at the account history. And this is going to show things like the creditor. Okay. This is going to show, the account number. This is going to show, or a portion rather of the account number. This is going to show, when it was last verified, date of last activity, date reported, date open, balance. Oh, we'll go through all of this section, but each account listed is going to show all of this information here. All right. So let's go ahead and go through it. Okay. So for this particular account, this is all this info is for one account. Sorry, I forgot this one. All of this info is for one complete account. Okay. This is for one account. Now, this here is BK of America. That's Bank of America. This account is Bank of America. Now, if I wanted to identify what type of account this was, I can go and I can look in a few different places. The main place I can look is the creditor type. And I look across here. It tells me right here, this is a credit card. So this here, this is an account section for a Bank of America credit card. Okay. It tells me the information for TransUnion. It tells me the information for Equifax, and it tells me, Experian and Equifax. These are the items. These are the credit bureau's information that it has. Okay. So let's go through it. The first thing you're going to see is account number. The account number is always going to be masked because they do not want personal information out. So the first thing that you're going to see is your account number. Now you want to look and see, I already see an error here in this because this one here is starting with 27. This is starting with 27, and this is starting with something else. Okay. So that lets me know that this information reported is incorrect. This is one way that you could get this account removed if you wanted it. If the person wanted it removed from their report, this is one way that they could get it removed off of their report. Okay. Because it's going to list the account number. And if you look at your records and this account number is not the same, okay, it's not correct rather, then you could get this removed. But this is the first thing is going to list your, account number. Now, the next thing that is going to list is the high balance. Okay. This is the part where it shows the highest your balance has been. Okay. Now here's something interesting about this one. What's interesting is, okay, so for this person, TransUnion, they reported $647. I'm sorry, I'm not bringing on any, co-host, but you are free to join me in the comments. Okay. Thank you so much. So, this high balance, this is the amount that's listed for each bureau. Now for Experian, the amount is 0. More than likely, I can tell you that this is the amount because this account has been disputed before. And if it's been disputed, I'm sorry, this particular account has not been disputed. My apologies. But the Experian Bank of America did not report a balance, or they're no longer reporting a balance to this Equifax account. Okay. So this is the highest that the balance have been for this account. So when you look at your report, when you pull your report and you see for this account, you want to look to see if this particular balance is correct. All right. The next part is the last verified. This is the date that this was last verified. Now, TransUnion, they have a date on here. For Equifax, there is nothing listed. That doesn't mean that it's incorrect. This could be grounds to get it removed. It could not be, but you could definitely try. But the last verified amount, there's no data. Remember, these dashes means no data, not necessarily zero. If it's zero, it would list zero, but this is no data that was listed here. So it just has these dashes here. And then the last time that this account was verified, either by the credit bureau, by the creditor, was February 10th, 2021. Okay. The date of last activity. The date of last activity is the date that this account had any activity on it. Okay, so for this one, it's these three dates listed here. Now, why is the date of last activity different from the date of last verified? So the date of last activity could be the last time that they made a payment on the account. Okay, it could be the last time that they made a payment on the account. And then they last verified. This is the last time that the bureau could have verified this account, either by dispute, either by different other reasons. But this is the last time it was verified. And this is the last time that there was any activity on the account. So the last time there was activity on the account was 2018. Remember, I said anything from January 2018 and further, I'm sorry, and behind should not be listed on this report. But this is from the reported date and not the date of last activity, because you can do activity after the date that it was reported. Okay, so the next one is the date reported like we listed. So this is the date that this report was updated. This report was last verified or whatever. So these two dates typically here, date reported, date last verified, typically they are the same. Not all the time, but typically they are the same. And look here, this here on here, it has a date here, but it doesn't have anything for the last verified. Okay, so these are right here. Typically these dates are the same. Date open, which is an important part of this account. Date open, Date open. Date open is the day that you opened up the account. So this person opened up the account December 10th, 2018. Okay, I'm sorry, February 10th. Where did I get December from? February 10th, 2018, February 1st. So these each also have different information listed here. Now, a lot of times this could be used to support your case in the item getting removed from the report if you want it removed from the report. Okay. So that is the date that was open. Now the balance owed, we are reviewing a live credit report. We are reviewing a credit report live. We're going through each section of the credit report, every line item that's listed on the credit report. Okay. And this is also another very, very important section or important part on the account summary, so to speak, is the balance owed. How much do you owe on this account? How much do you owe on the accounts that is listed on your report? It is very important to know what this number is, and then also it's just as important to know that if it's correct. So you want to look at your records and you want to see, okay, is this the true balance that I owe on this account? Typically, credit cards take about 7 or 14 days to update. They'll tell you 30. They'll tell you a little bit over 30. But you want to make sure that this number is correct, because this is your credit utilization number. This is the number of how much you are utilizing on said account. All right. The next item on here is the close date. This is the date that it was closed. So this here, there's no data. Okay, and that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no date, but there's no data that Experian and Equifax reported for this account. Okay, the account rating. This is also another very important one. What is the status of this account? What is the status of the account? Right here, it shows that this account is a derogatory account. So whenever a creditor pulls your account, whenever they pull your report, this is one of the items that they are looking at. They're looking to see if your item is derogatory or not. Let me show you one. Well, we'll get to one that shows when it's in good standing. But when we look at, remember up here, we looked at the items of derogatory, right? And it listed the amount here in your summary. This is showing the creditor. This is the account that's listed as derogatory on their report. So you want to make sure that if your accounts are not derogatory, they should not be reporting derogatory. If your accounts are current, if your accounts are open and good, it should not be listed this. This should be listed open. Okay. So you want to make sure that your account is reporting correctly. The next one is an account description. Not very important, not really, really important, but this is an individual credit card. Okay. And then dispute status. Okay, what is the status of the dispute? Have the account ever been disputed? And it tells us listed here, this is counted as not disputed. Now, this section is very important when you are going to purchase a home. Okay, if you're on, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you like the video and you also share the video. Okay, this dispute status, this is important for when you are buying a home, because they want to make sure that there are no accounts that are in active dispute. Okay, so this tells us that this account is not disputed. All right. And then also what I was telling y'all earlier, how to determine what type of account it is listed here, the creditor type. So this is, or who the creditor is, or what type of loan or what are they loaning to you. And so this here, you can kind of summarize from here that this is a credit card. So we're working on a Bank of America credit card. Okay. The account status, is it open or is it closed? That is very important. Is it open or is it closed? Okay. Let me see here. Is it open or is it closed? If you're watching the video, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you can for me. It helps me out. It helps me out, helps me get visibility so that I can reach and teach as many people about credit and budgeting and money and finances as I can. Okay, so if you're on, please like the video. To like it is completely free. All righty. Now the next, so it shows us if this account is open or closed. The next one is if the, let me see. Okay. The next one is the payment status. What is the payment status of your reports? What is the payment status of the report that you have? Okay. This is very, very important. What is the payment status of the report that you have? Okay. So let's look at this. The payment status, we show here that for this particular account, the payment status is in collection or charge off. Okay. Collection or charge off is the payment status of this one here. Collection charge off. Collection charge off. Even some will be super, super messy and they'll say account has been closed due to inactivity. Okay. Then they'll be real messy and say charge off is bad debt. Okay. Creditors can be very and extremely messy on your report. That's why it's important when you get your report, it's important to make sure that you are doing what's right by them, because they will be messy and they will try to mess up your good name. All right. So listed here, they put it in, they say this account, we close this account because they know they stop using it. We close this account because, and they have other things. They close this account for no payment. This person don't pay their bills is what they'll put on your, in other words, is what they'll put on your report. So make sure that you are putting and leaving your reports in good standing. Okay. Please, please, please. It's very important that you make sure that you are doing that your accounts are in good status with the credit bureaus, because they will try to mess up your good name. Okay. And so the next one is also remarks. They'll put remarks as well. And this is the section, where they list any remarks that is pertaining to that account. This is where they would list that at. Okay. So this is the Bank of America. This is each section from the Bank of America account. Okay. This is each section of the Bank of America account. Okay. Now it's important to make sure if you want to dispute it. Let's talk about when you want to dispute the items that are for an account that are listed, right? So if we had to pick out some information on this account that we could put in a letter, to dispute this account, what would it be? What could we include in the letter to dispute this account? Okay. What can we include in a letter? I'll show you a sample letter in just a moment. But what can we put in a letter to dispute this account? All right. The first thing what we are looking for is inconsistencies. We're looking for where one is inconsistent, because TransUnion, my boy, if you are receiving the same information as Experian about this same account, why are you reporting different information? Why are you reporting different dates? Why are you reporting different amounts? Why are you reporting different things? Equifax, if you receive the same information from Bank of America that TransUnion and Experian does, they do not differ the information. They do not say, okay, well, I'm going to pay this amount. I'm going to report that this person paid this amount at this bureau, and I'm going to report that the Bank of America does not do that. No creditor does that. So Experian, if you receive the same information from Bank of America that all of my other bureaus do, then why is the account number different? Okay, why are my dates different? Okay, why is the high balance different? Why are these amounts different from all of the other credit bureaus? And then there's some other laws that you can mention to put in for your case for this. All right. So let's go to the next account that's listed on this report. I don't think it's important for us to go. Well, actually, there's some more information actually listed for this one. I don't think that we need to go through each and every. We don't need to go through each. I'm putting a little note here so y'all can please like and share. Okay. Please like the video. Please share the video. All right. So, I'm going to drop down because that's way up here. So I'm going to drop down, here because we could not see, the other items that is listed for, that account. Actually, let me just go ahead and do this. All right, bam, there we go. Okay, so we are still working on Bank of America. Okay, let me draw a line here so you can see, right? So as you can see, the creditor is going to report everything that they can on you. So we looked at the different items that they reported here for the Bank of America, right? These are all of the different things and the different pieces of information that they reported. Well, there is some more information that they report, and that is these items listed here. Okay. And these are some very important items that they report to the account. The first one is the payment amount. Okay. How much are the monthly payments so far? I don't know if you all remember, but we looked at the summary portion of this and it told you what the monthly payments are for all of the collective accounts. Okay. So for this report. All right. So it's telling us how much the payment amount is for this particular report, because again, it is closed. This account is closed. So that means there are no monthly payments that are due on this report. Okay. So that is why it's going to have 0 here. And then also, if you have any questions, if you have anything, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat and I will do my best to answer it. I am a certified credit consultant. I'm also a certified budget analyst as well. And so I'll use all of my information and the good Lord to answer whatever question that you may have as it relates to a credit report, which is what we're discussing today. All right. So for this payment amount, there's 0 because this account is closed. Because this account is closed, you no longer owe a monthly payment to it. Okay. This account is closed. You no longer owe a monthly payment. All right. Now they are going to also list the last payment. When was the last time you made a payment on this account? So they're going to list that in 3 different sections. Okay. For the 3 different bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. TransUnion say the date that this last was reported. was January 8th, 2019. The same for Experian, but Equifax says October 1st, 2018. Equifax, I want to know if you're receiving the same information on this same account. Why do you have a different date listed? Why? Why do you have a different date listed? This is something that you can list out when you are disputing this account. All right. So the next item that's listed for this Bank of America account is term length. It's not going to have any data because this account is closed. Okay. Then let's look at a big part of this report. A really big part. The past due amount. Okay. So I know, because I've looked at over 100 credit reports in my time, I know that if there's a past due amount listed that this account was closed, it was charged off because the person just stopped paying the bill. Okay. Shame on you. Do not stop paying your credit card bill. Okay. Even if you, don't have the money, a lot of times you can call the creditor, which in this case is Bank of America. You let them know, listen, I'm out of work. A lot of times, I don't know if you know that when you apply for a credit card, at the very end of that credit card application, at the very end, there's a little box at the end of their report and it asks you about insurance. Please check mark that box. Please, because that box can save you in the event that you lose a job or you get sick or whatever happens. But please make sure you check that box. It's only $1.33, $2 extra a month. For each time. Okay. I want to pause here and if you are on, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video. It is completely free to like. Please share the video. It is completely free to share if you are on. Okay. I thank you and appreciate you so much. God bless you. Okay. The next one is the account type. Remember I said when I looked at it, I can pretty much tell that it was a credit card. Well, this right here confirms that. So this was a secured credit card. What does secured mean? That means that this person put $500 down on this card to open up this credit account. Okay? They secured this credit line. They put $500 down to secure it. So this tells me that when they got this card, their credit was probably not the best and they were trying to build their credit. But this number right here tells me that even after they tried to build their credit up, build their credit, that they didn't do quite a job. So now they need some assistance with discipline, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. Let's go to the next section. Payment frequency. Now this account was open. It will let us know the frequency, of payment that this most of the time is 1 month. Okay. There you go. I answered that question for you. Okay. The next one is a credit limit. This is very important when we are looking at credit utilization because we need to take this number and then also look at, let me show you the other one. We need to take that number and also look at the balance owed to get the utilization number. Okay. So the balance owed on this account when it was closed was $545. Okay. And then, but the credit limit was $500. Okay, so what does that say? That say that this person, the last time that it was reported, this person used over their credit balance, their credit limit rather. Okay, so more than likely, not more than likely, their credit utilization was over 100,000 because of your balance. If your balance is $545 and your limit is only 500, you are over 100% of your credit utilization. Okay. So this person went over their utilization. And when this happens, your score drops dramatically. Very dramatic. Your score drops very dramatically. All right. Let's look at the payment history for this account. Okay, let's look at the payment history. Now, this is a 7-year history. Okay, so now this information is not reported, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this account is closed. Now, if this account was open, it probably would more than likely list it. But because this account is closed, there is none. But it shows you here, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax. Now, what is this 30, 60, 90? What is this 30, 60, and 90? This is 30 days late. This is 60 days late. This is 90 days late. And so it tells you for each bureau, how many days you were late, how many 30-day late payments you have, how many 60-day late payments you have, and then finally, how many 90-day late payments you have. Okay, this is listed. A creditor can see this. Okay, there are ways to update it, but those are the credit secrets. It's really not a secret. You can really send a letter and ask them to forgive it. They are not obligated to, but they can. All right. So because this account is closed, and then also this was a secured card, right? So the person put the $500. So this is not the bank's $500 that they're loaning you. Now they loaning you their good name and they're loaning you their good card, but you put the $500 down on here, right? So this account was closed. But this, they have reported for this account, based on the day that this was printed out, pulled rather, that there are no no 30-day late payments on here, no 60-day late payments, and no 90-day late payments. Okay. Now let's look at, if you have any questions, again, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If you just drop them in the chat, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Let's look at this next account. And this is a very different scenario. Okay, this is a very different scenario. Here it gives us the creditor's name. This is a Horizon credit card. Just because I know, but here's also where it tells me it's a credit card. Okay, now this account, there is no data that's reported to TransUnion and Equifax. So what does this mean? 9 times out of 10, that means that this creditor only reports to Equifax. I don't know why these creditors love Equifax, but they do. These creditors love Equifax. And here's the proof. The proof is in the pudding right here, right? Remember when we went over our summary and we went over the total accounts listed on the report? Equifax had the biggest number. Okay, so the creditors love Equifax. So this account, this Horizon credit card, is only listed to Equifax. So when we look down here and we're looking, okay, well, I want to see if I need to report this, if I need to delete this, I'm sorry, if I need to get some information updated. Okay, so there's a few different things that you can look at to see if you want to get this report update, like deleted off of your credit report if it is bringing your score down. Here's a few different information pieces that you can look at. You can look at balance owed. What is the balance owed? You can look at account rating. What is the status of the account? Okay. Here's also, I'm sorry, that's the rating. Here's the status here. So you look at if it's open, or you can look at if it's open or closed. You can look at the credit card, credit card or the credit account status. Okay. So what is the status of this account? Okay. So when I look at this account, I'm looking to see if there's anything derogatory listed on here. If there's something derogatory listed, then I am not going to, I'm going to want to send a letter to the bureaus and I'm going to want to get this deleted. But when I look at this, I looked at the fact that it is open. I look at the fact that it is current, open and current, right? I look at the payment status, right? It tells me that it's current. Okay. So this is one that I want to leave alone. Okay. Then I go down here, look at some other information. I see that the credit limit is $750. Okay. The credit limit is $750. Then, okay, another area you can look at your payment history. What is the payment history? There's not going to be anything for TransUnion and Equifax. There should be something for, it's TransUnion and Experian. There should be something listed for Equifax, okay? And there are 0 late payments reported. So this account is good. I want to leave it on here. I wish they were reporting to Experian and TransUnion, but that's fine. I can't tell them good. I want to leave it on here. I wish they were reporting to Experian and TransUnion, but that's fine. I can't tell this is a good account. Okay, so you want to leave this account on your report, this type of account. When you see these different positive impacts on it, you want to leave it on your account. All right. Let's look at this one. Do we want to go through this one? Let's see. Okay, let's look at this. This is an auto loan. Okay, this is a car. Most of us have it on our report. I'm not sure what CIG Financial is, but we'll look at it. Okay, CIG Financial. I'm sure it's a finance company, a car loan finance company. Okay, now let me draw the line so we know where one ends and where one begins. Okay, so all of this information here is listed is for CIG Financial. Now, one of the things that I do want to mention here, you don't always have to go line by line to look at the information. Okay, I highlighted the sections. This is the good thing about this one is it is reported to all 3 credit bureaus. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. Okay. And so you want to look at, here, balance owed. You want to look at the rating of the account. Okay. You want to look at the rating of the account. Thank you so much for joining. If you are on, please like the video. If you are on, please like the video. Okay, so you want to look at the account rating. The next thing that you want to look at is the account status and the payment status. Okay, what is the account status? What is the payment status for this? Okay, now if I look at this and I'm like, okay, I want to determine what items on my credit report that I want to dispute. When I look at that, when I look at what items I want to dispute on my credit report, this would not be one. This is not hurting my report. Okay. This is not hurting because I'm paying it. I'm not late on this account. Okay. And then also, this account is open and paid. This account is open and paid. So I'm doing the very best that I can. Okay, I'm doing the very best that I can with this account. So this account is open, it's paid, it's in good standing. So I'm going to leave this account alone. This is one of our good accounts. This is one of our accounts that is in good standing. Okay, this one here, this next one is also an auto loan. We're not going to go through that one. Let's see what else we have on here. We have a little, what is this? A secured loan. We'll pass that up. What else we have here? We have a bunch of accounts that's reported to Equifax. We'll pass those up. Okay. So next we have, our next section we have is our credit inquiries. This is our credit inquiries. Okay, these are the credit inquiry accounts. Hello, thank you so much for joining. Please like the video. Okay, our credit inquiry account. This is a list of all creditors that have pulled your report in the last 2 years. They have pulled your report in the last 2 years. Now, this report was pulled way back when. So all of these, yes, they say 2020, but this is correct. This should still be on here. I hope today that they are not. But this is a list of creditors that have pulled the report. Okay. There's a bunch listed on here. If I wanted to know, well, how many inquiries do I have for each bureau? It has the credit bureaus listed here. Then I can go look at my summary page and it tells me how many inquiries I have. TransUnion, I have 13. Experian, I have 12. Equifax, I have 14 credit inquiries. Okay. Now, credit inquiries can be removed even if they are younger than 2 years old. Okay. If your credit inquiry is younger, please, thank you so much for joining. Please like the video. If your credit inquiry is younger than 2 years old, now, if it's older than 2 years old, it should already be off your report. If it's not, then you can easily send the credit bureau a letter and they will remove it. But let's look at this. The last 2 years, of the credit bureau, credit inquiry, sorry. These are all of the creditors' name. Okay. So it really looks like that this person was trying to get a vehicle. And then it gives the date, right? So February 29th, they was cutting up. Okay. So, and then also January 28th, they was cutting up. Okay. So this is, the date of the inquiry. And this is the credit bureau that pulled your report. All of that information that we went through for each, credit account. They're pulling that. They're pulling it to see how well you pay your bills. They're pulling it to see how well, you are doing. They're pulling it to see, if you pay what you say you're going to pay. Okay. They're pulling that to see. And so all of these creditors have pulled this report that we're working on this many times. Okay. Now, your credit, the credit bureaus do something that helps us out, right? They are going to list every creditor that is on your report. They're going to list their name. Let me move that up. They're going to list their address and they're going to list their phone number. This helps you out in the event that you want to dispute the information, right? This is the information on file. So when we looked at that Bank of America account, right? Let's look and see if we can find Bank of America on here. Let's look, see if they have it. Here we go. We found it. All right. So if you wanted to dispute that Bank of America account that we found and we said, okay, some of this information is not correct, right? It gives you all of the information for Bank of America. If you want to give them a call, if you want to send them a letter, this is the information here. Now, let's talk about when we are disputing an account. Let's talk about when you are disputing an account. Okay. When you are disputing an account, and also I have all of this information. Also I have a, school, community. The link is in my bio, but I have a school community. If you're on, please like the video, please share it. I have a school community, that breaks down credit. It breaks down budget. It breaks down finances. It breaks down your money. And it teaches you how to steward these things well, that God gave us to steward. So if you have trouble with your credit, I do have a free course. When you join my community, I do have a free course that gives you all of the letters. You just plug your information in and you send it. I'm going to also talk to you about what to add to the letters when you do the letter. Okay. What to add to the letters when you create the letter and you send it off to the credit bureau. Okay. So when you send the letter off, you can really send a basic generic letter. I will tell you that the credit bureaus do not sit and read every letter word for word. Okay. When we mail in a letter, it goes through an automatic machine, so to speak. It is fed through a machine. It is AI or whatever technology they have. It reads the letter and it categorizes the letter that you send. Okay. So making a super, super long letter does nothing for you. It does absolutely nothing for you. Okay. So when you go in and you send a letter, just make it short and sweet. Short and sweet is great. Short and sweet will do it. Okay. So we are being short and sweet with it. You're going to list what items on your report is incorrect. Okay. You're going to list what items on your report is incorrect. We went over this Bank of America one, and let me show you the first section to it. We went over this Bank of America account here. And then we kind of notated some things because this is a derogatory account that's listed on this report. So we really don't want it. I mean, it's not hurting anymore because it's closed, but we really don't want this on our account on your report, because you want your report to look as smooth, as good as it possibly can. Okay. And so that is that on that. So when you send your report, when you send your letter, okay, there are a few different things that you want to add on your report. Okay. You definitely want to add You definitely want to add why you're disputing it and what information is wrong. But then also you want to include with your letter, you want to include 3 pieces of information just to be safe. You want to include your driver's license, a copy of your driver's license. Don't send your real driver's license there, okay? A copy of your driver's license. You want to include a current bill. It does not need to be older than 30 days old. A current bill, okay? And then the next thing that you want to include is a copy of your social security card, okay? You want to include those 3 pieces of identifying information along with your letter, okay? And you want to mail it and send it to the credit bureau. And also, if you're going to send it to that creditor, we found the address section of each creditor, okay? You want to send it to that creditor as well. All right. Well, that is all for me right now. I thank everybody for watching me on today. Again, please like the video. Please share the video. If you have questions about about credit, if you have questions about budget and financing, I do have a free school. A school community where you get these free courses inside of the community. Okay. You get all of this. You get your a credit course in the community. It comes with the letters. You just plug and play your information inside and you are able to send the letters to the credit bureau. It also includes a budget, your 12-month budget. A lot of us need to realign our budget this year. And so it includes free budget templates for you to be able to budget your finances wisely and well. And then it also teaches you how to teach your kids about budgeting and credit as well. So that is all for me on today. Thank you all so very much for watching. You all have a great, wonderful, and blessed day.